from the IRC television studios on the SUNY Oneonta campus, this is Oneonta News Now. I'm Caitlin Horace.
And I'm Vincent Cataldo.
Before we start the news, meteorologist Matthew Miles joins us with a look at the Oneonta weather cam.
Thanks, Caitlin. Well, we've had a bit of a rainy day so far. I'll let you know when we gotta start building Noah's Ark when we return. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Matt. Coming up next, we have your campus and local news. Stay tuned to Oneonta News Now.
Sometimes,
For local news, a Yonkers man was arrested Friday by Oneonta police on felony drug charges. Vincent D. Guy, 31, was charged with third-degree criminal possession of a controlled substance with intent to sell, said Oneonta Police Chief Douglas Brenner. Brenner said the arrest came after a 2-month investigation by Oneonta Police Department detectives. Guy was found to possess crack cocaine, powder cocaine, and heroin with a street value of about $3,200. Guy was wanted on a parole warrant and was sent to Otsego County Jail Friday without bail, pending an appearance in county court in Cooperstown on Monday, Brenner said. The sentence for a conviction of third-degree criminal possession of a controlled substance is up to 25 years in prison, according to Brenner.
An arborist recently hired by the city will begin work on tree trimming and removal to enhance public safety and prevent ash borer infestations, a city official said Thursday. The Common Council last week authorized a contract with American Arborist Corporation, Karst Tree Service of Oneida, for trimming and removing various city-owned trees and stumps for $63,190. Separately, the council also approved motions related to the environmental impact of 3 economic development projects. 2 $50,000 state grants will support the tree project, which is scheduled for October and November and involves removing more than 100 trees, according to Judy Pangman, City Community Development Director. This project is going to transform downtown and make it a more vibrant and active place to be.
A Sherburne man was arrested Thursday after he allegedly left the scene of a car accident and was involved in a second accident. Kyle Lafer, 32, received first aid from Chenango County deputies following a one-car accident on County Road 32 in Norwich, according to a media release, where he was found to be in possession of heroin and a hypodermic syringe. Lafer was charged with 7th-degree criminal possession of a controlled substance, driving while ability impaired by drugs, leaving the scene of a motor vehicle accident, and additional vehicle and traffic violations. He is scheduled to appear in the town of Norwich court at a later date.
The conclusion of a report released by State Controller Thomas DiNapoli shows that New York needs to do better with monitoring drinking water contaminants, including in Oneonta. The study found that in Oneonta, 4 out of 25 violations did not have notices or public notifications issued. Overall, the audit determined that 58 of the 126 water violations sampled were never made public, with 6 of those violations possibly resulting in serious health effects. New York has more than 9,100 public water systems which supply water to all but 5% of customers.
Thanks, Vincent. We have your entertainment news when we come back. Stay tuned to Oneonta News Now.
We go to New York City, we meet with Oneonta alumni, their experience that they had at Oneonta and the careers that they took on post-graduation at Oneonta. And I've obtained 2 summer internships through that in my sophomore and junior year, and it was an amazing experience.
They have a stock ticker room and classes with computer labs. So I mean, the technology is definitely improving and the facilities keep getting better and better.
It makes you look so much better on paper as well for your resume, and then also you're constantly being able to build yourself as a person.
I think that the classes can be difficult at times, but I think if you go to their office hours and you stay ahead of the work and just don't fall behind, I think it's a really manageable program.
Meet new people and build new relationships. I feel like that's the most important thing that I learned as a college student and becoming a professional once I graduate in a couple of months. So good luck.
We're back with your entertainment news update with Joanna Weidenhammer and Felicia Lewis. What's going on this week in entertainment, ladies?
There's a ton of great things happening on our campus this week. This Wednesday, the Hunt Union Waterfront Room will be filled with the sounds of hip-hop, jazz, rock, pop, funk, and R&B violinist and fiddler from Boston, Christian Rogu. The 23-year-old attended Berklee College of Music and Boston College. He was performed at countless weddings and events in the New England area and raised thousands of dollars as a street performer. Christian has been called spectacular and unbelievably talented. Christian is a member of the popular Boston-based band Juice, in which he raps in addition to performing the electric violin. He says that he always tries to add special elements of life to any event and that he has never let an audience down. Tickets are free with a SUNY Oneonta ID and $3 for the general public. The event starts at 9 p.m. in the Hunt Union Ballroom. This is definitely an event you do not want to miss. And the Oneonta chapter of NAACP welcomes everyone to join them for the Discrimination Matters film series. This Friday at 7 p.m. in the Hunt Union Waterfront Room, the film Smoke Signals will be played, followed by a discussion about discrimination. Smoke Signals is a humorous yet serious story about Victor, a young man who director Chris Irie describes as trying to forgive his father. The movie will give you a glimpse into contemporary Native American world and is created by an almost exclusively Native American cast. The story begins with a glimpse of two baby boys, one barely rescued from a fire which consumes his parents. We briefly see them grow up and learn of the tension between them. They are complete opposites. The rescued orphan boy, Thomas, becomes a naive but positive nerd with oversized glasses, while Victor, who is to embark on a journey of forgiveness towards his father, is proud of his Native American hardship and seems to find pleasure in confrontation. Following this film, there will be a different film played each Friday. The event will have free food and lead credit.
There's some drama going on in Hollywood, but let's be honest, when isn't that the case? Robert Pattinson and new co-star Mia Goth are amused but not surprised that their exes, FKA Twigs and Shia LaBeouf, have been spending some personal time together. Earlier this week, LaBeouf 32 and FKA Twigs 30, who appears in his movie Honey Boy, sparked romance rumors after they were photographed outside her home in Hackney, London on 2 different days. Meanwhile, the actor's rep announced that LaBeouf and Goth had split after almost 2 years. A source told E! News that Pattinson 32 and Goth 24 think it's comical, and they are not surprised that the exes got together and even saw it coming. LaBeouf and FKA Twigs have not commented on the status of their relationship. The source said that Pattinson and Goth, who have been promoting their new movie, High Life, are themselves just friends. The source said that the actors have a don't care attitude about the situation between LaBeouf and FKA Twigs and has been a huge support system for Goth, who is hurt and upset but is trying to move on. Cardi B looked red hot during her performance at the Global Citizens Festival on Saturday night in New York City. While the Bodak Yellow rapper has been making her rounds in various Fashion Week circuits, this was her first public performance since she gave birth to baby Culture on July 10th. Songs she performed included Drip, Bodak Yellow, and during her set, the I Like It rapper encouraged attendees to get out and vote in the midterm elections on November 6th. She said, quote, "We need to vote, especially us, the millennials." Former First Lady Michelle Obama even made a surprise video cameo about the importance of voting. Although Cardi B's performance was fierce and full of fever, chaos ensued not long after her performance. A fence barrier collapsed at the festival, which made concertgoers panic and sprint out of the concert. Coldplay singer Chris Martin assured attendees there was no reason to panic and that they're all safe. NYPD Assistant Chief Caitlin O'Reilly joined him on stage and said, quote, "Everybody relax, calm down, it was a barrier collapse." Thankfully, there were no shots fired.
That's all of our entertainment news. Back to you, Caitlin.
Thanks for joining us, Joanna and Felicia. We have your national news coming up, so stay tuned to ONN.
In national news, a 13-year-old boy who was attacked by a shark early Saturday is in serious condition, downgraded from the critical condition he was in originally, according to a spokesperson from Brady's Children's Hospital in San Diego. The boy was attacked while diving for lobsters in waters off Encinitas, California, which is about 25 miles north of San Diego. The boy suffered traumatic injuries to his upper torso and was taken to a hospital. The attack occurred before 7 a.m. and about 150 to 200 yards from Beacons Beach. Several people were in the water diving for lobsters because it was the opening of the season for catching them. 3 people heard the boy's cries and helped bring him ashore using a kayak. Lifeguards quickly arrived on scene and started providing first aid right away, according to lifeguard captain Larry Giles. Paramedics arrived soon after and the boy was taken to the hospital. He was conscious and talking on the beach and on his way to the hospital. Nearby beaches between Ponto Beach and Swami's Beach will be closed for 48 hours after the attack. There has been no shark activity in the area since the attack.
A traffic stop in the Detroit area led police to uncover 88 pounds of marijuana in a van. An Oakland County Sheriff's deputy pulled over the 2000 Chevrolet for speeding around 5:30 p.m. Thursday. The deputy checked the van's registration, which showed it had been canceled by the Michigan Secretary of State's office. Police decided to impound the van since it was unregistered. While police were searching the inside of the van to compile an inventory of its contents before the wrecker came when they discovered several large trash bags and boxes in the back. One of the bags contained a green leafy substance they suspected was marijuana. So police searched the rest of the packages and found more. In total, police uncovered 88 pounds of suspected marijuana. The driver, a 53-year-old man from Madison Heights, was arrested on charge of delivering or manufacturing more than 5 kilograms of marijuana. He likely will be arraigned on Saturday.
Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation was suddenly thrown into doubt Friday after Republicans and the White House agreed to a 1-week delay so the FBI can investigate the sexual assault allegations facing the Supreme Court nominee. The delay is the result of a last-minute change of mind by Arizona Senator Jeff Flake, whose move to force an investigation was quickly backed by several senators considered swing votes on Kavanaugh's confirmation. The demand was made after a chaotic scene at a Senate Judiciary Committee meeting in which the panel advanced Kavanaugh by an 11-10 party line vote. The American Bar Association also recommended the committee pause on Kavanaugh's nomination until an FBI probe was completed late Thursday night. Kavanaugh has denied allegations made against him by Dr. Christine Blasey Ford and Deborah Ramirez.
Kellyanne Conway, an advisor to President Trump, said on Sunday that she was a victim of sexual assault and that the Supreme Court confirmation proceedings of Judge Brett M. Kavanaugh should not become a broader meeting of the Me Too movement, suggesting instead that victims hold their assailants directly accountable. Ms. Conway made the personal revelation during an interview with Jake Tapper on the CNN program State of the Union, during which she largely derided the partisan politics of Judge Kavanaugh's hearing on Thursday. Ms. Conway stated, "I feel very empathetic, frankly, for victims of sexual assault and sexual harassment and rape." She did not go into further detail about her own experience and has made no further comments.
Thanks, Kaylin. When we come back, our meteorologist will take a look at your 5-day weather forecast. Stay with us.
Briefcases. We go to New York City, we meet with Oneonta alumni, and we learn about their experience that they had at Oneonta and the careers that they took on post-graduation at Oneonta. And I've obtained 2 summer internships through that in my sophomore and junior year, and it was an amazing experience.
They have a stock ticker room and classes with computer labs. So I mean, the technology is definitely improving and the facilities keep getting better and better.
It makes you look so much better on paper as well for your resume, and then also you're constantly being able to build yourself as a person.
I think that the classes can be difficult at times, but I think if you go to their office hours and you stay ahead of the work and just don't fall behind, I think it's a really manageable program.
Meet new people and build new relationships. I feel like that's the most important thing that I learned as a college student and becoming a professional once I graduated in a couple of months. So Good luck.
Welcome back to Oneonta News Now. Let's find out what the weather has in store for us this week with our meteorologist, Matthew Miles.
Thanks, Caitlin. Well, we've had a lot of rain go on today, almost Noah's Ark-esque, but not to the sense of there will be some more rain occurring later tonight into tomorrow, so it's not even done, and that's not really news we like to hear. But in terms of the sunset, what we normally see over Hobart versus what we're seeing tonight is more cloudy, rainy, not so nice conditions. Our current conditions, we're currently at 64 with about a southwest wind at 7 miles per hour, and we have a 90% chance of rain continuing into tonight. So if we thought we were going to get rid of the rain, not yet, sadly. As we look into tonight, 55 degrees as a low, and we're going to go from 90% to about 30% chance of showers by 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. I expect, and then we'll start to see a front push through, and we will get some more clearer skies, which is more of what we like to see. These are more of our fall-like temperatures for tomorrow. 63 degrees is a high with a wind speed of 9 miles per hour. Today's humidity was at 97%. Not for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be around 60%. It'll feel nicer. Your hair will appreciate it more. So definitely a nicer day to get out tomorrow for your Wednesday. In terms of some temperatures for tomorrow, we got 68 in Bing, 67 in Syracuse, and up in Watertown, 59 degrees. And then out west towards Buffalo, about 66, which is about average for this time of year. As for tomorrow night, we drop back into the 50s, about 55 degrees, with a southeast wind of about 3 to 8 miles per hour with partly cloudy skies. As we look at our 5-day outlook, we go from 63 to 75 on Thursday. Yes, that's right, 75 with a chance of thunderstorms. And we go back in the 60s for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, everybody gets to have a news feature, and I am going to have a news feature right now. Surprisingly, Oneonta has decided to invest in a pool, another pool. And people are like, what? Well, Toby Hall is thought to become a new pool. And as we look at this picture, we already got people swimming in this pool. You got to catch it, though, because it's for a short time only. So if you're walking by Toby, take a nice dive in, as this is our rain amount for today. Nice pool in front of Toby Hall. That's all I got for today. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Matthew Miles, for taking Let's Come Through Drippin' to another level. In international news, in a study published Wednesday, Samuel Wasser, director of the University of Washington Center for Conservation Biology, and his team sampled 38 large ivory shipments seized around the world between 2006 to 2014. They genetically matched some pairs of tusks that had been separated before they were shipped to different locations around the world, revealing insights about their networks. Around 30,000 elephants are slaughtered every year in Africa to satisfy international demand for ivory, the WWF said in a statement. Targeting the major export cartels could thus provide some of the most direct ways to police this illegal trade and stop the killing. We use genetic methods to determine the number, scale, and location of Africa's major ivory export cartels, as well as their connection to in-country poaching hotspots, the study said.
The death toll on the island of Sulawesi stands at 832 people, but officials expect that number to climb as rescuers on Monday continue to sift through the destruction left by a powerful earthquake and tsunami. The earthquake, which occurred on Friday, registered at a 7.5 magnitude, and the tsunami hit 2 days after with 3-meter-high waves. Palu, the capital city of central Sulawesi province and the home of 350,000 people, saw the worst of the destruction. An airport runway was damaged, limiting flights in the area, and several roads and bridges have been washed out, according to Indonesia's International Red Cross head, Jan Gelfand. Electricity and communications have been cut off, and roads that are severely damaged or blocked by landslides are making it difficult to assess the damage, according to Indonesian Disaster Management Agency spokesperson Sutopo Purwo Nugroho. An estimated 2.4 million people were affected by Friday's earthquake, Nuguroho said.
The United States and Canada have reached a deal to update the North American Free Trade Agreements and keep it a trilateral pact with Mexico after more than a year of slow-moving negotiations. The U.S. and Canadian governments have agreed to a deal that will boost U.S. access to Canada's dairy market and protect Canada from possible U.S. auto tariffs. NAFTA, which is the world's largest free trade agreement and involves the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, was in danger of collapsing due to deep divisions between President Donald Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The Trump administration had previously threatened to proceed with an exclusive U.S.-Mexico pact, despite many lawmakers' warnings that they would not support a deal without Canada. The new treaty is expected to be signed by Trump, Trudeau, and Mexican President-elect Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. Congress will then have 60 days to review and approve the new deal.
No book, it seems it is too substantive or too insignificant to be banned in Kewat. Recent targets of the government's literary censors now include a Disney version of The Little Mermaid. There are no hijab-wearing mermaids, said Shamil Kuwat, a women's activist. The powers that be thought her dress was promiscuous. It's humiliating. Responding to the demands of a growing conservative bloc in Parliament, the government is increasingly banning books. In August, the government acknowledged that it had banned 4,390 books since 2014, hundreds of them this year, including many works of literature that had once been considered untouchable, setting off street demonstrations and online protests. They have even begun to ban Nobel Peace Prize winners' literature. No book is safe of falling victim to the book ban.
Thanks, Vincent. Stay tuned to ONN for your weekly sports update with Jarrett Baez and Austin Teitelbaum. Welcome back to Oneonta News Now. So, Austin and our special guest, what's going on in sports this week?
Well, Caitlin and Vincent, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to sports, so let's get right to it. For some campus sports news, the SUNY Oneonta volleyball team dropped 2 matches in the final day of the Skidmore Invitational. Gosh darn it. Skidmore outlasted Oneonta 3-2 in the first match of the day before Roger Williams University bested the Red Dragons 3-1 in the nightcap. The pair of losses dropped Oneonta's record to 7-12 on the year. That's awful. After dropping the first set 25-13 to Skidmore, Oneonta tied the match with a 25-17 victory in the second frame. With Red Dragons trailing 12-11, Jessica Fowler set up Clara Clune for the kill, tying the set at 12-12. Flower then fed Gillian Stetzer to give Oneonta the lead for good. Leading 20-17, the Red Dragons went on a 5-0 run to end the set. After Skidmore captured the third set 25-16, Oneonta kept the match going with a hard-fought 25-18 win in the third set. Oneonta never let a Skidmore run exceed 4 as the Red Dragons forced a decisive 5th set. Things looked promising as the beginning of the 5th set as Oneonta jumped out to a 4-1 lead. Skidmore would slowly chip away at the deficit though, with the set tied at 7-7. Skidmore went on a 6-0 run and never looked back as the Thoroughbreds earned a 15-9 victory. The Red Dragons returned to action on Friday, October 5th, when they resumed SUNYAC pool play against New Paltz at 5 p.m. The SUNY Oneonta field hockey team defeated Cook College 5-1 in non-conference action Saturday afternoon. The win proves the Red Dragons' record of 5-5 on the year. That's a little better. Allison Wells got the scoring started 3 minutes into the game when she snuck a shot inside the right post for her 6th goal of the year, MVP. Must be something lucky about that name, Allison, because Allison Billow added to the Red Dragons' lead when she lifted a shot over the Keokuk goalie for a 2-1 advantage. After Keokuk opened the second half with a Shelby Lamb goal, Wells responded with her second breakaway of the game. Billow was on fire, scoring a goal in the 65th minute, making the final score 5-1. The Red Dragons return to action on Friday, October 5th, when they host SUNY Cortland for a little battle of the Red Dragons fever. That's it for your campus sports report. What's going on in sports outside of SUNY Oneonta, Austin?
Well, Matt, in MLB news, rookie Miguel Andujar makes history as Yankees drop the final game of the season to the Red Sox 10-2. What a week for the Yankees. They took care of business during the final series of the regular season in Boston. They earned home field advantage for the American League wild card game, clinched their 20th, 100th win campaign, and set a new MLB mark for the team home runs in a season. Right, Matt?
It's great. It's great.
But they weren't done making history yet. Miguel Andujar tied the AL record for most doubles by a rookie by hitting his 47th of the year. Andujar's historic hit came in the top of the fourth, hitting a mile-high fly to left field. Brock Holt inched back to the field, seemed to have a beat on it, and leaped out a foot in front of the Green Monster. But the ball bounced off the ground. Andujar was already at second base with his 47th double of the year when the throw came in. The Yankees finished the 2018 regular season with a 162 mark, while Voigt's two-run bomb pushed their single-season team home run record to 267. Wednesday, the Bombers host the AL wildcard game against the Athletics. Let's go Yankees, man.
Let's go Yankees,
Well,
Austin.
And MLB and NFL news. The New England Patriots stopped the Dolphins' winning streak as they stopped their own losing streak. The Patriots beat the Dolphins 38-7. Tom Brady threw 274 yards and 3 touchdowns. It denied the Dolphins their first 4-0 start since 1995. Patriots coach Bill Belichick said, quote, "I thought we got what we needed from our team today." Tom Brady also said, quote, "We hadn't played well in the last weeks. The game's great, but you got to turn the page." New England may be doing that without one of their best players. Tight end Rob Gronkowski, one of Brady's favorite targets, left the game in the third quarter with a right ankle injury and did not return. The Dolphins will visit Cincinnati next Sunday, and the Patriots will host the Colts on Thursday night.
And that's it for your weekly sports report. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Matt and Austin. Join us again next week for your up-to-date news, sports, weather, and more. I'm Vincent Cataldo.
And I'm Caitlin Horrit. This is Oneonta News Now, and have a good night.